was in Siberia, in the middle of nowhere. We're in this chicken shack, 4 feet of snow with Russians, and they all have AK-47s and vodka. There was nothing to do for a week except sit there and drink. It just felt like a coffin almost for me. Then when I came home, the behavior continued and it just spun out of control. It was ripping my family apart. There was some ultimatums, being thrown out of the house. It took that for me to realize what a problem it was and what I could lose with it.
As ever present as their hard-charging riffs and sold-out shows, alcohol dominated the Metallica landscape.
Let's go use a beer,
When I first met these guys, they were drinking vodka like water.
Ride a beer, pal.
Alcohol brought out everything that we needed to say to each other that we couldn't say while we were sober. And it became part of our legend. Because of that, I can't really recall most of the Kill 'Em All tour.
Around 7, get out of bed around 9, and I don't worry about nothing, no, because it wasn't a waste of my time. So we starts around 7, we gonna stage around 9, we get on the bus about 11, sipping a drink and feeling fine. We've been dancing with Mr. Brownstone. We've been knocking, he won't leave me alone. Oh, no, he won't leave me alone. I used to do a little but a little what I do until the liver got more and more. I just kept trying to get it out, but it's a little better than before. I used to do a little but a little what I do until the liver got more and more. I just kept trying to get a little closer, trying to go. We've been dancing, Mr. Brownstone. We've been knocking, he won't leave me alone. Oh, no, they won't leave me alone.
How did I get myself straight? What made me decide to get straight at this point?
I love Slash to death, but his drug abuse was out of control.
Slash didn't know how to entertain himself unless he was on stage or going to a gig or doing something. So what did he do? Wake up, drink, and drink more?
It was a little excessive drinking, I would say. It wasn't something where it's been going on for a long time.
Right, if certain members don't stop dancing with Mr. Brownstone, meaning Slash and drugs, the band was over.
And if they didn't stop doing it, that was the end of Guns N' Roses.
I know it was directed at me because I was all strung out at the time. Me and Duff were drinking at least a half gallon of vodka or Jack Daniels a day, just trying to sort of keep ourselves, like on an even keel.
Despite all the good fortune that's come to you, you had this serious heroin addiction for years, and that was quite aside from the half-gallon plus vodka binge that you were doing on a daily basis?
It was a good half gallon of vodka a day plus.
Half gallon of vodka a day.
That was at home. Then I would go out. And this went on for about 10 years.
Hi, I have been asked to talk a little bit about some of the rock shows that I've been to in my life, and I've been to quite a few. I've seen everyone from the Rolling Stones to Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, you name it, Scorpions many times, just a lot of different rock shows. So today I think we'll talk a little bit about Metallica and Guns N' Roses. I think there are some questions that I've been asked to answer.
What was your impression of Metallica?
Metallica is a great band live. Was able to see Metallica at several different venues. Just hardcore, rock and roll, fast pace. I mean, there's really not a slow moment at a Metallica concert. It's loud, and it's a lot of fun. And their music is incredible. The details that the musicians go into are incredible. Their live show is good. Their sound is awesome.
What's your impression of Guns N' Roses?
Guns N' Roses was a good band. They weren't a great band. You know, I'd say Metallica is one of the greats. Guns N' Roses, you know, how they ever made it as a headline band is beyond me, but, you know, I saw them several times. I never actually went to see them as a headline band. I always saw them as a warm-up band. And the first time I saw Guns N' Roses, they opened up for the Rolling Stones, and it was at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, and they were wasted. I also saw them at Pacific Amphitheater, and they were equally as wasted. Slash is awesome. You know, when Axl's not wasted, he's got a pretty good voice. You know, the rest of the band, they were good. They're always a good warm-up band. It was always fun to see them before Metallica or before the Stones or you know, before Aerosmith.
Could you tell they were on something?
Metallica, you really couldn't tell. I don't know if they were using, you know, or if they were drinking. You know, their energy was so high, and they just don't stop. You know, once they start rocking, they don't stop. So I don't really see how they could be on anything heavier than maybe some weed or something. But who knows? I could, if they were, I couldn't tell. Guns N' Roses, it was pretty obvious most of the time. I saw him open for the Stones, as I mentioned, at the Coliseum, and Axl was so wasted he fell off the stage. Literally fell off the stage. I think that was in '88 or '89. I'm sure you can find footage of it on YouTube. Yeah. Slash, you know, maybe he's just good at playing wasted. The time they opened for Aerosmith, I'll never forget this one. Aerosmith had just got out of rehab and had gone sober for their very first time. And Axl comes out on stage and they played a song or two, and he decided to announce this to the crowd that, you know, the old guys in the back were sober now, but they weren't, you know, and they were here to party and have a good time. And he was clearly impaired. I don't know what he was on, but it seemed like it was something harder than pot and alcohol. But who knows? It could have been anything with those guys.
What about the crowd around you?
Always. You know, when you go to any of these festivals out here, any of these concerts, there's always pot. At a very minimum. I never really saw anybody else do anything other than pot, you know, because I guess that's probably the easy thing to do in a concert. Maybe they're snorting, but, you know, I never really saw anybody using heavy drugs. There's alcohol everywhere.
Were you on anything?
Always. You know, drinking or smoking, that was basically my thing. Hallucinogenics, maybe once or twice at a concert, but not really into that so much around people. But definitely always drinking, always smoking, every show.
Did you feel influenced by the bands to use any substances?
I think I probably influenced the bands to use substances. Actually, you know, before I went to my first concert, I was already drinking and smoking, so I was just part of the crowd.